What's up, everybody, and welcome back to the Knab and Ro Show. I'm here with my compatriot and partner in crime, Ro. Say hi, Ro.
Hi, kids.
And welcome back to this week's Thanksgiving edition of the podcast.
Yay, I am so thankful for you.
And I'm thankful for you, Ro. You know, this is going to be a good one, I think. Because it is going to go back to literal one of our first, two podcasts that we ever did, just a fireside chat with Knab and Ro.
Yep.
Nothing scheduled, nothing wrote down. Nope. Just go clean, just dirty as you can be, clean as you can, whatever. Fancy fresh.
Yep. Grab a beverage.
And join us.
Chill out with us and hang out. Yeah. I enjoy those podcasts. I don't feel the pressure to, like, you know, when you have a guest, it's kind of like inviting someone into your home. You know, you feel like you kind of have to entertain to a point, I guess. But, you know, just hanging out casually with a good friends, all of you, and yeah, it'll be great.
That's right, and we're not downplaying any of our guests that we've had by any means.
No. This
is just us saying, and you can all agree, going out in the world is exhausting. When you get home and you can just relax at home by yourselves, is relaxing.
Yeah, in front of a fireplace if you have one.
Okay,
I don't.
So can I just talk about that for 1 second? In my old house, I had a gas fireplace in the basement, which I never used.
Okay.
I had a wood-burning fireplace on the second floor, and then an electric fireplace with like a heater on the third floor. Mm-hmm. Here, all I have is a gas fireplace that works, but it will literally burn you up. You can't turn the damn thing on; it's too hot.
Okay, so I don't have a fireplace where I live. But my parents, when we first moved into the house that they currently live in, long time ago, many moons ago, it was a wood-burning one. And I remember we never used it very frequently, except when we lost electricity once. I think we may have used it. But, yeah. But then my mom got an electric one, and she loves that thing. It's great. And I enjoy watching, like, the flicker of the flames of a fire, like whether it be a campfire or an in-house fire in a fireplace.
In-house fire.
Yeah. Sorry, words escaped me. But
Ro is staring at a gas stove at the flames.
Yeah, I mean, to me, the flames are very mesmerizing and kind of calming in a sense, I guess. But that thing pumps out heat. Yeah, definitely does. So, but yeah.
I have a candle that I light from now whenever I'm at my computer that I light all the time. It's nice. It's an evergreen and berries, so like a Christmas tree smell.
Ooh, okay.
It relaxes me. It does.
Nice.
Truly, yeah.
Are you stressed? Do you need relaxation?
When are us as humans not stressed? We can say, "Oh, we're fine. I'm great." No, there's something going on in everybody's life. True. I don't care who they are. There's always a stressor of some sport.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that you like candles. That's fun. I have a male friend that likes bath bombs.
Really?
Yeah, he loves them, and I'm like, all right, well, thank you for being manly enough to admit that. So,
well, candles aren't like a freaking bath bomb. I mean, people have been using candles for years and decades and centuries. Like, it's a good
you have a
source
scented
of
one,
light.
sir.
It's good. Whatever. Nothing girly about it. It's actually a pet odor exterminator counter.
Nice.
Oh,
well,
man.
I'm a Scentsy consultant, so I don't have candles here. I have like wax warmers.
Well, that's true. Hey, I mean, I get the candle because I like the light, basically, you know, the fire. So, you know, I won't do one of those wax things. Yeah, exactly. It's, you know, setting the mood. Yeah. You know, I don't want a wax warmer. I mean, that's cool for smells and whatnot.
I mean, the warmers mine illuminates my living room when the lights are off. It gets a nice ambiance. I mean, you can get different warmers that show light.
Yeah, I like
and
fire.
They're pet friendly. You don't have to worry about your pets knocking them over and starting a fire.
That's true. Roaring in this.
And kids.
This happened Tuesday. I want to say Tuesday. No, Monday. One of those days.
My little Roarin.
He kicked the ball in the kitchen, and I had my candle there, and it was full of wax, like hot wax. And it flipped the candle, you know, one of those jars with the lid on it, right?
Right.
And wax went all over the freaking kitchen floor.
It's great to clean up wax.
Oh my gosh, I was getting I felt like my nose is about to fall off because not only is it just wax, but it's the extreme scented wax, and now I'm scraping it with the putty knife trying to get off my hardwood floor. And every time I scrape, it's like there's a big old scent of evergreen and berries. There's another one. It's just, it was too much. And now it's very waxy on one side of my floor, but whatever.
I mean, you can always put some paper towels down and then get an iron and just kind of hover over it, and then the wax will melt and soak it up.
That's actually true. That's a really good idea.
Yeah. Trust me, I've had to get it out of carpets with these waxes and floors. Oh, yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah, my cat one time, okay, totally off subject, but my...
I don't think we're on subject.
I know, right? Yeah. So I have my Scentsy warmer, and the wax was red, and it was going in my bedroom. I was cleaning the house and da-da-da, and I go into my bedroom, and I see little spots of red, and I'm like, oh, no, like... I'm not bleeding, so I'm thinking, I just go straight to the cats. I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on? What did the cats get into? Like, I'm trying to find, and they're both like hiding, and I'm like, oh no, like, what's going on? And so my one cat finally comes out, and she was a calico, but she had like white around her paws. And so I look down and I see that she's got some red on her paws, and I'm just like, oh my gosh. And so it's like, get her, and I can smell the scent, and I'm like, oh no. And so I go into the bedroom, and there's like wax on my wall, like something had like flicked, like maybe she'd like put her paw in it and like flicked it, because I mean it's warm. It won't burn you at all, but it's hot, it's warm. And so I'm just like, oh, and so I'm like trying to console her, and I'm petting her, and then I get to the tip of her tail. It is nothing but a wax ball, and she has a dark tail, so I wouldn't have seen it. And I'm just like, awesome. Oh no. And so I'm trying to like get wax out of her tail, and
oh my gosh,
yeah, she had gotten her tail
to it, right?
Right? Yeah, like yeah, she hated water, but she let me like put the water as warm as warm to touch, to get it, and that worked a little bit. But I mean, for a good week and a half, I was getting wax out of her tail. Poor thing. Yeah, at least she was a short hair, not a long hair, because that would have been worse.
Yeah.
But anyway, I digress. But yes, so that's
absolutely, that's a good.
My wax and cat story.
So, Ro, what did you do this week?
What did I do? I finished my Christmas shopping. I am like 95% done. I'm just waiting for some things to arrive now. But everything is pretty much purchased, and I'm really excited. I'm one of those people that gets really excited about gift giving, because I try really hard to find the perfect gift. Kind of like the SNL cheer, like the perfect cheer. I've tried to find the perfect gift, and I feel like I did pretty good this year on a couple people. Like, I'm really excited to see their reactions when they open it. So, so I did that. WoW, World of Warcraft, which our listeners know I play. Their expansion came out on Monday, so I've been starting the grind of wonderful expansion grind and leveling and seeing all the new things and everything that the game has to offer now. So I've been busy with that, but nothing too exciting. I feel like I say that all the time, but
you need to get more adventurous, Ro.
Yeah, well, it's kind of hard when you have COVID and your state's in lockdown again, so.
Well, let me rephrase for her. She doesn't actually have COVID. It means when COVID is running rampant.
Right.
Yeah.
I don't
feel like if you'd had COVID, you would have told me by now.
I would have.
Yeah. So all I did was just the same stuff every day, just kind of hung out. Mm-hmm. But I did go to, so it's every third Saturday of the month, I go and help out at the Loveland Castle and do yard work, landscaping and stuff. So I did that again. So I got there around like 11 o'clock, stayed till 5 p.m., just working around the castle. Met a new friend that goes down to work down to the university here at UC. But her and a bunch of the other guys that were there. I met the guy that's in charge of those days, which is cool. The guy has a bunch of horses and whatnot, which we got along very well, which I thought was very cool.
Of course.
It was cool. It was really fun. But that's the most extreme excitement that I've had this weekend. Yeah.
Well, and you're still doing your push-up challenge, and those...
That's right. That's right.
Those videos are great.
Ever since you mentioned it last time, I try to change it up and do something different or unique. I mean, tonight I felt like it wasn't that unique or different. Besides roaring, taking gobble 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 or whatever heck he said about the turkey.
It was story time with your wife. I mean, heck yeah, dude. I mean, I enjoy her story time.
Story time with Stephanie.
Although, was it yesterday? Was it yesterday or the night before? It was Alistair, and we got the whole time. It was a nice shot of his rear end. He was just like twerking it, and I think it was the one when Roran was trying to jump on you from the bed.
I can tell. No, don't.
Yeah, that was good. And then Alistair was just kind of like watching guys, and he'd move, and then he'd stop. And anyway, got a nice little baby butt cam there. It was cute.
Oh yeah. Yeah, it's like that one where he literally sat in front of the video the whole time.
Yeah. Yep.
Well, good. So what are we talking about this week? Obviously, no, I already mentioned it, but let's go. Quick recap. What are we talking about?
We're going to talk about Thanksgiving, seeing as Thanksgiving is tomorrow. Felt like it was, appropriate, if you will.
That's right. So this will go out on Thanksgiving, is when you guys will be listening to the podcast. And we're talking about two different things. We're going to put a focus on what our Thanksgivings have been, so what we grew up into on Thanksgiving, and then we're going to talk a little bit about kind of what we're doing this year. We know it's tough for everybody out there, and our thoughts go out to everybody. We know it's difficult mentally for all of us, and it's very difficult emotionally for all of us. But the best that we can do is come together, use technology to our advantage, right? And do a lot of video calls and joint things for dinner, which is nice. And I would take this opportunity this year to do something every night for starting tomorrow, Friday, Saturday, Sunday. I would try to extend it out just to make it a little bit more personal.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So let's start with you, Ro. Ladies first. Tell us about your childhood growing up Thanksgivings, and what does it mean to you?
Yeah, so Thanksgiving is definitely a time for our family to get together, as the majority of people, and I was very fortunate growing up to have all of my aunts and uncles and cousins and stuff all live locally, so we definitely experienced like the entire family Thanksgiving. I do recall up to a point, and I can't remember when it stopped, but we were the family that would have to do 2 Thanksgivings in one day, and that was hard.
Yeah.
That was hard because you eat 2 big meals, and we would always go to my mom's, I believe, first, and then we would go to my dad's side of the family second. And it was a lot of food in one day, and we don't, like I said, we stopped doing that for the longest period of time now. We just do my dad's side of the family, and so my grandma lives in a 2-story house, and it's not really... So I was adding all of us up, and if you get everybody, like cousins, and then their like significant others or spouses and kids and stuff, there's like 31 or 32 of us. And
that's a lot of people.
It's a lot of people. It's a lot of people to begin with. And but generally there's about 25 to 26 people that show on a regular Thanksgiving, because I have 2 cousins that live up in Washington that maybe come down every other year, every 3 years or so.
The stragglers.
So yeah. so we don't get to see them very much on Thanksgiving, but still, I mean, 25 people is still a lot of people.
That's right.
And
that's right.
My grandma doesn't... So basically, her living room and her dining room kind of do like an L shape, and then the kitchen is like connected to the dining room. And look, we're sardines. We are complete sardines. Like, you got to pick your spot, and that's where you get for like the entire night. And then if you have to use the bathroom, like 3 people need to like legit like get up and move and shuffle in order to like get down the hallway to the bathroom. So it's always an adventure, and of course it's always nice to see family and everything. And so that's what we would normally do back in the olden days. And each aunt kind of had their specialty that they brought, and still do. Now that us kids are grown, and of course there's more of us than there are, I guess, we're adults, but I always think of them as adults and us as like the grandkids and kids. But even still to current day, like everybody has like their own thing that they bring still. So like us grandkids really don't contribute much. to Thanksgiving, but my cousin's wife is from, I forget where she's from. She's Eastern European, and she makes this beet dish that's native to her
Beets?
country. Yeah, I don't know what it's called. I'm not a huge beet fan. Everybody loves it. I've tried it, and it's just not for me. But but she does a great job. It's a beautiful presentation. I guess it's something that her family has made for years, and I can't remember what it's called. But she'll bring that. But she's usually the only one that brings other things to the grandkids. Everybody else is set. But yeah, so that's typically, growing up, we had the 2 Thanksgivings and only have the one now, and which I appreciate because I'm not so full.
Yeah.
But yeah, what was a traditional Thanksgiving in your household?
So we didn't really have a group of family members that always met every year, same place or whatnot. Because I feel like a lot of my family were always in different places at different times. I mean, growing up, my parents, we'd go to one of our grandparents' house typically, and we'd go there and we'd have Thanksgiving dinner there, and maybe there were some friends there that came by. Like the parents, my mother had a lot of good friends up that she grew up with, and their kids who I grew up with up in Pittsburgh. And so we'd go there and get together with everybody. The one that I remember more so as I was an adult is I would go, because was single for a long time, so every Christmas or Thanksgiving I'd always get invited up to my uncle's house up in Tip City. So it's about an hour and 15 minutes, something like that, hour-ish from my house here now. And I go up there, and my grandma was there, my dad, mom typically would come, sometimes my sister would come, but I would go, even if I was solo, just go up there and just spend time with immediate and extended family. And we'd do Christmas. We do Thanksgiving up there? They'd cook the turkey and all that good jazz. I was lucky. All I had to do is buy, some type of pie, dessert, or whatnot. They never trusted me to cook anything. So I never had to deal with that part of it. It was always my Uncle Terry or my father that really focused on the turkey, the carving, all that good jazz. But growing up, and I guess we'll take us to kind of the next thing, is favorite dishes. So obviously Thanksgiving, we give thanks for things that we're thankful for in our lives, but let's be honest. It's really all about the food, right? What your favorite food is. Yeah. Thanksgiving is the one time when I eat, I typically have a historical nap on the floor. It's not on a couch. It's not on the bed. I fall asleep like it used to be at Grandma's house in front of the fireplace on the floor. Yeah. Every single time. And so my go-to typically, besides the turkey, and I like the darker meat, so it's a little bit not quite as dry as the white meat, right? So I go to either the drumsticks, the dark meat, and then I always like my mom made a green bean casserole. Oh yeah, I feel like that's a staple now. Yep, yep. Yeah. That one, and the sweet potato casserole is another one. So we did that. Then cranberries. No, it's not the cranberries that's kind of all mushy. It's the slices of cranberries. Like from the can? Yeah, it's from the can, but the slices of cranberries, I just like that better than just like the mush. Yeah. Cranberries. It's just what we always done when I was a kid, right? Then you had a couple rolls. Maybe you had, oh my gosh, stuffing, which you cook in the turkey. Yeah. Right? So that was my typical go-to kind of meal, what we traditionally have done. Right. What about you? So we definitely have that green bean casserole, turkey. I'm a white meat girl, so I like the white meat more. Green bean casserole. My grandma makes the best stuffing, and this is what I look forward to the most every year. And I don't know, and she cooks it in the turkey, but unfortunately, because of the amount of people, she can only cook so much in the turkey. And she gets a pretty big turkey, but you can only cook so much. So she ends up kind of like cooking, the amount she does in the turkey, and then she'll make some outside of the turkey, and just kind of like mix it all together. Not stovetop. I can't stand stovetop stuffing. But and I usually don't eat stuffing unless it's Thanksgiving and it's my grandma's. But she puts like, I don't know what she does. It's an amazing amount of goodness, and
I'm really sad that we won't be having it this year because we're not doing Thanksgiving with the big family this year. So I'm really kind of bummed. But yeah, so we would do that. My aunt always makes a broccoli salad, which is good. I've made it before too. She usually makes it for holidays, and I usually do it for like off-season holidays. Oh, let's see what else. My mom always makes Jell-O, and I don't eat a lot of Jell-O, but I do eat Jell-O, and it's a texture thing for me. So it has to. There's got to be. There's got to be a couple different factors going into Jell-O if I were to eat it, and
Like,
there needs to be mandarin oranges. Usually, she'll do like an orange, cherry, or lime. She'll do like 2 different flavors, so it's always kind of a combination.
like chunks in it?
Yeah, so you just like mandarin oranges. Yeah, so you like, yeah. So there's just like some people put fruit cocktail in Jell-O sometimes.
Ooh, I do like that. Those are good.
Yeah, but she just does mandarin oranges, which I love mandarin oranges, so it's totally fine. But that has to be there, and this is the only time I will ever eat Cool Whip is on Jell-O.
Wait, say that one more time.
The only time I will ever eat Cool Whip is if it's on Jell-O.
Oh my god.
It does not belong on pumpkin pie because that just ruins it. It's a travesty.
Oh my gosh,
I
Ro.
love pumpkin pie. I love pumpkin pie.
I agree.
You
You ever see those memes that shows like a little itty bitty sliver of pumpkin pie, then smothered in Cool Whip?
Yep.
Have you
but
seen
it's not
that
Cool
one?
Whip. Yeah, but you don't do Cool Whip. You ruin it with Cool Whip.
Oh.
You got to use either real homemade whipped cream or the whipped cream from like the can, but no Cool Whip.
Oh my gosh! And every time I hear you say Cool Whip, it makes me think of
the Family Guy.
It's like Cool Whip, Cool Whip,
Cool Whip.
Cool Whip.
Yeah.
That's why I said, hey, can you say that one more time? I was gonna make sure
knew where
you
you're
say
going
Cool
with
Whip
it,
or
yeah.
Cool Whip. Oh, that's the best. That is so funny.
But yeah, so that's the only time I eat Jell-O. So Jell-O's a pretty much a staple there too.
So not
and then
like
there's
the just plain typical see-through Jello gel, like hospital gel. You need to have some substance
It's
in
a
it.
fancy Jell-O.
Yeah.
I'm a fancy girl. I'm a bougie girl with my Jell-O when it comes to Jell-O.
Bourgeois.
But yeah, so and none of us are really big on yams. I mean, yams are present, but there's not a large amount of them.
Agreed.
Yeah, so
Don't do much with the yams at all.
yeah, and cranberries we just like cranberry sauce from a can. You know, it still has like the can ridges.
It's so much better. I'm sorry. It's just so much better.
So, if you do it right, I like the way it sounds coming out of the can. Like that, I don't know how to explain it, but like the desuctioning of the cranberry sauce from the can as you like dip, as you're like trying to like get it out of the can without it. Yeah,
You're
it's just so
whacking on the back
satisfying
of the
to
can.
me.
I know.
But yeah, so that when it comes to food, and then like I said, I mentioned my cousin's wife makes her beet salad thing. I don't even know what it's called. So that's there and present as well. But and of course mashed potatoes. Mashed potatoes are there too. My grandma used to make homemade mashed potatoes, but then it just got to be too much with too many people. Like growing up, we had like homemade mashed potatoes. Like she would, but now it's just instant. I'm like, I'd much rather fill up on her stuffing because that's the greatest. I can get instant mashed potatoes anytime. But if she does homemade mashed potatoes, I'm all for it. All for homemade mashed potatoes. So,
see, I'm a big fan of the sweet potato casserole. I mean, I feel like we did that over just like regular mashed potatoes. And I know Stephanie's not a big fan of that for some reason, but I absolutely love it. And then there was I feel like there was a spinach dish that used to be made too. It was like cheese, spinach.
like an artichoke dip type thing?
No, I don't remember what it was. It was whatever. It was spinach something or another. It was good. We enjoyed it. Yeah, and all that jazz. So, this year, understanding that we can't do all the fun and stuff and things with family like we've already discussed, what is Ro doing to celebrate how she is thankful for everything in her life?
So we are still having like a little tiny Thanksgiving with just like my parents and my siblings and my brother and sister-in-law and my brother's girlfriend, and my nephew. So we're still gonna get together, but we are gonna get together on Sunday instead because that will free up my brothers because they usually have 2 Thanksgivings, and so by the time they come to like the big one that we go to, because they go to their significant others first, they're like full and bloated and like ready for a nap, and so that gives them the day to just kind of spend with that side of the family, not feel rushed, and you know, take their time, and then we'll have ours on Sunday. So I have been in charge, or placed with the challenge of bringing the green bean casserole. So I will be participating in actually making something this year, which I feel like is a pretty simple recipe to begin with, so I shouldn't be, I mean, it would be hard to mess that up, I feel like.
Yeah.
But yeah, so my mom will do like the turkey and the stuffing and the mashed potatoes, and then I'm not really sure what everybody else is bringing. I'm gonna just worry about myself and bring my green bean casserole.
That's true. That's very true.
But,
good.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do.
Yeah. So we were supposed to go traveling down to North Carolina. It was we typically swap years back and forth. You know, this year was Thanksgiving with Stephanie's folks, and then Christmas this year with my family. Her mother, I know a couple others are really kind of freaked out with COVID, but even besides COVID, the unknown as far as lockdown, states doing things, possibility getting pulled over, we don't know what the heck's going to go on. And I don't want to be stuck in North Carolina with 3 dogs and a bird at home where we're paying someone to watch it, and it's not cheap to pay someone to watch these animals.
Definitely not.
So we did the responsible thing, the sad thing, and we're staying home, and just Stephanie, the kids, and I, we're just going to do a thing with us. We're maybe, you know, FaceTime or Facebook message our families and just kind of do it that way. But you know, it just there's too many unknowns. There's too many unknowns.
Yeah.
It's in my opinion, this whole thing is just out of hand. It's ridiculous, and it's really affecting everybody. But we can do what we can do, because we're not the scientists. We can't fix things. We can't do the vaccine. There's nothing else we could do. So we just follow the rules, the regulations, do what we can to keep everybody else safe by keeping ourselves safe, and go from there.
Yeah, and you know, and it's definitely adjustment, you know, on par with how this entire year has been.
Yep.
You know, some adjustments and some sacrifices, but the adjustments and sacrifices you're making now will lead to better and healthier future. So
yeah, you hear something weird?
What?
I was in Orlando and Las Vegas in January and February of this year.
What?
Yeah. How's that for strange, huh?
That is crazy.
Yeah. And then I get back, and the next week or 2 weeks, everything's shut down.
Yeah.
It's crazy. I don't want to get into it. But I was just digressing in my head, like, holy crap, that's insane.
That was almost a year ago.
I know. That's what I was thinking of. Like, it's been such a long time.
Yeah. I can't believe, I mean, December is just next week, and I was looking at my calendar today at work, and I was like, oh my gosh.
Yeah. The first is on Tuesday.
Christmas is in 30 days, or like 4 weeks. 4 weeks from today, it's Christmas.
For some people, it was end of October. I'm just saying.
True.
They started early. But Stephanie has
like,
the hard, strong arm of the law that says nothing until after Thanksgiving, and it's killing me. It's killing me, because I want decorations now.
Yeah. Well, it brings people joy. It's great. A lot of people have. My mom, it was like she was taken down. And my mom, you know, give her credit. She loves to decorate. She is a decorator. And she does a really good job. And she has a lot of decorations for each holiday. And I ended up coming over like day after Halloween. And she's like halfway put up all of her Christmas stuff. And I'm like, whoa, wait a second. What happened to Thanksgiving, you know? And there was talk about her possibly hosting the bigger Thanksgiving group, because my grandma, with her place being as small as it is, just felt uncomfortable with having that many people over. And that was just kind of when we're like, well, what are we going to do? And I was like, how are people going to have Thanksgiving when it's Christmas? Like, they're going to think it's like a completely different holiday here.
Yeah, exactly.
But ended up not working out. But yeah, it's, my mom it looks like North Pole just vomited everywhere. And it's great.
I want snow.
It's great. Funny fact. So she has an artificial Christmas tree, and she, like I said, she's a great decorator, but it takes her so much time to like put up and take down the ornaments and the lights on a Christmas tree. So a couple years ago, she was like, you know what? skip this. I'm not going to take all this stuff down. And so she puts a Christmas tree in like what we call the nice living room, because it's not the family room, but it's like another living room essentially. And so she's like, yeah, I'm just going to wrap a sheet around it and put it in the corner. And I'm like, are you kidding me right now? Like, people are going to walk by and be like, why do you have a Christmas tree up, right? She found a sheet. I totally lost the word. A sheet that's the same color as the wallpaper in that room.
Oh, for heaven's sake! And then
she, like, legit, you if you just happen to walk by the room, you would not think that there was a Christmas tree in the corner, because it covers like pretty much everything except maybe like the top. But then if you walk into the room and you're like surveying, you're like, oh hey, there's a tree underneath that sheet. But if you just walk by, just casually, you wouldn't notice that it's there. It's like very well camouflaged in there.
Oh my goodness gracious!
Yeah, so I'm just like, and take her hours to do it, and now it's just like, nope, pulling the Christmas tree out, and she may have to like fluff a few branches or whatever, but yeah, Christmas trees, they're ready to go.
I think a part of the fun is pulling out the decor or pulling out the ornaments, looking at them, reminiscing from days old. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And putting them back gets you reminiscing over them again. I think it's fun to do that. Anyways, that is for another podcast. We'll talk about Christmas in another podcast. Ro, focus.
Sorry.
I want to finish off the last part of the segment of this podcast, and I want to talk about what we're actually thankful for. What do you think about that? Is that a good idea, Ro?
Great. Yes.
Okay. Do you want to go first, ladies first again?
Sure. Okay. I am thankful for having a job. I was furloughed earlier in the year, with COVID and everything, and there were a lot of people in my company that weren't offered their jobs back, and I was very fortunate to work for a company that was able and willing to pay for my insurance, so I didn't have to worry about that. They gave us like disaster relief funds, so we weren't stressed about that. So I'm very thankful for the company and having a job that I work for, and they're actually doing a lot of really good things for us right now. In the beginning, they had done a freeze on reviews and your yearly wage increase and everything, and as a company they just decided to retro all of that back from whenever your hire date or anniversary date was. So like if you were hired in February and that's like your anniversary date, they're retroing your merit increase from February to current on that. So that's awesome. And they're also giving us an extra bonus this year. So
yeah, that's nice.
Which is really nice. I'm very thankful for my job. I'm very thankful that job allows me to have a roof over my head and food on my table, and I don't have to really stress financially. So that's really good. Yeah, I'm very thankful for my family and my friends, because they definitely have gotten me through some hard times this year with COVID and being socially distanced, and kind of making more of an effort to reach out to those friends and do things with. So
yeah,
definitely thankful for them, and definitely thankful for my animals, because they're the ones that keep me company at home when I can't go hang out with my friends. So
yeah.
Very thankful for that as well.
Well, I'm gonna start off mine. Just thankful for family, friends, all that jazz. They've helped get through this hard time and all that good jazz. I'm thankful for my 2 little boys, because they keep me on edge like crazy.
Ding dong cute.
Oh
Love
my
them.
Gosh. I want to say this, and I'm not just being cheesy, Ro, but I'm thankful for you. Think about when we started this podcast a few months before COVID hit, right? And we've been rocking through it, and I feel like our friendship has grown leaps and bounds since we did this podcast, and it's given us something else to look forward to every single week.
Definitely.
I think it's great.
Yeah.
I'm thankful. I don't care if we're big or small or whatever the podcast is, right? We're just a little podcast. We just started off, but I'm thankful for it. It gives us something to do, and it's a positive thing in my life.
Yeah, no, definitely. And that was like the one thing that I would look forward to when I was furloughed. Like that was going grocery shopping on Fridays and Wednesday podcast nights. Like that was my week. Those were the highlights.
Yeah. And they're
You
still
know,
our
but
highlights. They're still the highlights.
Of course, yeah, absolutely. But
Yeah.
no, I would totally agree with that. And
Mhm.
and we hung out a long time ago when we first met, through World of Warcraft and everything, and we've stayed in touch here and there, and didn't really like lose the friendship, but it just how it just sometimes life evolves, and you kind of go different directions. But I'm very thankful that it came back and that we did do this, and I'm definitely appreciative, and I think I was thankful for. I think I thanked you earlier in our podcast about it too. But I definitely would agree. I would concur with all that. So
I think the last thing that I'm gonna say I'm thankful for here is my position. I've had a steady job throughout the entirety of this COVID craziness. I work for Royal Canin, if you guys didn't know, right? Dog and cat food, pet food company. And I educate veterinarians, so we went to doing a virtual thing for the majority of it, and maybe 6 months later I was back in the field doing very minimal still, and that's where I'm at now, but it's going to be harder with the colder months. But Royal Canin is fantastic, and they've really treated our family well, not to mention my manager is fantastic. She's a leader. She's someone I definitely look up to, and she's someone I can trust that would look out for us if something were to happen or anything like that. So it's, I'm very thankful for that situation, which is good. Yeah,
definitely. I mean, I think we, as much as we complain about not being able to see our families or, do what we normally would do on holidays, I mean, it just, again, shows how much you should be thankful for with what you have, and know that it'll be okay. You've survived this long, it'll be okay. I mean, and unfortunately not everybody has had that same opportunity, financially and job wise, but I'm very thankful that I have what I have and who I have it with, and
absolutely
to reaffirm that.
Yeah, and last but definitely not least, before we call it a night tonight, I know Ro, we would like to thank you listeners. Thank anybody that has liked it, listened to it, viewed it, shared it, commented on any of the videos. Any of you that have helped been communicative with us and getting us out there. Like I said before, we're very small, but anything helps. We thank anybody that has been willing to be a guest on our show. It's just been a great tour of events, and I can't wait to see what happens to us going next year.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we are very super thankful and appreciative of everybody that has supported us by listening and liking and commenting and sharing and being guests. A lot of we've had some authors and some people who are business people, and it's helped them out as well as us, just to kind of get our names out there. And we enjoy doing this, and we will continue to do it until it just isn't fun for us anymore. So
that's never going to happen. Come on now.
we like to talk.
We like to talk. That's right. We like to party. We like to party. All right, but I think we're going to end this one here. That sounds like a good spot to end here. But I want to thank all of you for listening to the podcast. If you like the podcast, go ahead and jack the like button right in the nose. Don't forget to tell your friends and family all about the Knab and Ro Show. And as always, this podcast is a wrap.
Till next time, kids.